All right, welcome back,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, we're
and
back?
Jay.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back. Men in Black, Back to the Future, Back in Black. What other sequels have back in it?
Oh, dude.
Brokeback Mountain.
Back
right.
Mountain.
You said Back to the Future, right?
Back to the
Backdoor
Future.
hussies. Never mind.
There's 9 of them.
Oh man,
Well, that was the last one I watched.
Too far. Oh, not far now.
never is.
Well, so
we
much
wanna go
shit
too far.
happened.
So much shit happened this past weekend,
Oh,
but we
man.
want to cover some shit that we realize we've been doing to ourselves. Is we say we're gonna talk about something and we fucking go off like a derailed train.
We go from left to backwards to up and down.
Yeah, to inside
It doesn't make
out.
any sense.
Yeah,
Nope, sure don't.
7 different axes. One thing that we dropped that I did get a few messages on. Oh, no, hold on. We can't already derail. Fuck it. I'll derail real quick. People had bad sex stories that they wanted to send in to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Send them in so we can read them aloud
Yes,
to
dude,
the
that
class.
Yeah, we'll
Please.
change. We will change the names.
Please email.
No,
yeah,
no,
we'll
no.
transpose
Jay,
names.
Shut up.
We'll transpose names. If you want to call
The
yourself
people
Grimace
watching don't know.
and the Hamburglar, touch your butthole.
We're not gonna. No, I don't care what
Send
names
us-
you use. We're still changing them. So
Yeah.
send your
Send
real
us-
names.
Yeah, we'll change them.
Because
Send us right here. Email. We will tell your bad sex stories.
Damn, hell yeah.
Yes, send it.
But one thing that I did get hit up on that someone was actually interested in, and I apologize, was REM sleep. We did not cover that. We just totally forgot. So we're going to let Cody take that away.
So what we were talking about in regards to REM sleep was marijuana's effect on REM sleep, which if you're a person that, even people that don't smoke marijuana,
Yeah.
most people know one of the things that happens is you get sleepy.
Yeah.
Well, marijuana does help you fall asleep, or THC does help you fall asleep, and other cannabinoids too. But it actually
Cannabinoids like being what? Like edibles?
cannabinoids is like the two major ones that most people know about are THC, tetrahydrocannabinol, I think,
Fuck it.
and then CBD. I don't know how to say that one. But
CBD,
cannabinoid is like the actual chemical. THC is what actually makes you feel psychoactively high. CBD is not psychoactive, but that your brain has cannabinoid receptors, which is how we're able to sift through those things in our brain, like those chemicals, and that's why they have certain effects on our body and on our psyche, like our personality at whatever any given time.
So what's it called when when you're not smoking or anything like that and you actually think about what you want to dream about and it actually does happen? Is that REM?
That's called lucid dreaming.
Lucid dreaming.
Well, I'll
You
talk
take
about that
control.
because
Yeah,
I was doing that for a long time,
Yeah.
and it gets dangerous because you actually fuck up your sleep that
really?
one too.
Because
Yeah.
I could actually,
Wouldn't be
I could,
surprised.
yeah, I
fuck
could do
my
it
sleep up.
whenever I want.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
can too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now it's a lot harder for me because
A little bit, yeah.
because you're tricking. Well, we'll get
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah,
We're
Okay,
doing
sorry,
exactly
sorry.
what we
I
said
was
we
gonna
weren't
say,
gonna do.
I don't know about the lucid dreaming
Yeah.
part of it and like how that affects your REM sleep or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
But what I know is like contrary to like really like everything that I thought until I read the study was THC actually, or weed, like doesn't actually allow you to go into a full REM sleep, and REM sleep is like when you dream and rapid eye movement. That's what REM stands for.
Yeah.
And it's when you do your most recovery. It's when you do your most like healing or whatever you want to call it.
So don't smoke
Recharging.
weed before bed?
It just depends. I think it really depends on your tolerance. It
Yeah.
depends on the dosage. Because one thing, and I don't know if Jay could attest to the same thing, is like I know that I used to smoke more like frequently and volume wise than
Mhm.
I do now.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot. And I'm about to go in on this back with Jay like
I
nobody's
smoke
business.
like this all the time.
Yeah, Jay smokes like that all the time, so he's probably a better example. But like most of the time, like if you're high like
For the
every single
children.
night before you go to sleep, you don't. If you do dream, you don't remember it. And now what I've learned from the study is that since you don't get into REM sleep, you're
Yeah.
probably not dreaming because dreaming only happens
So-
in REM sleep.
That's very interesting because when I do smoke before bed, that's the only time I don't dream. If I do,
But
I
you
can't
fall
re-
asleep pretty quickly, don't
I
you?
fall asleep pretty quickly.
and you feel like you sleep good.
Yeah,
but
I
you
feel
don't
like I
actually
sleep-
get the most.
Yeah, I don't dream.
Restful
Even if I
sleep.
dream, I can't remember too much of it.
Yeah, and it's because especially for somebody that if you don't smoke very often and then you
Yeah,
smoke
yeah.
before you go to sleep or whatever,
Pretty much, yeah.
you're gonna feel the most effect of that. But so THC inhibits your ability to go into REM sleep, but it actually does help you fall asleep.
Fall asleep, yeah.
But REM sleep happens later on in your,
In your cycle,
and I can
yeah.
actually relate to something that's even more broad than smoking weed, believe it or not, to the same phenomenon. So when you like if you've ever partied before and like got drunk, stayed up until 2 or 3 or whatever time it was drinking, depends on how much you drank really, and then like the next day you notice like you sleep in kinda, and then you might have some crazy dreams, and then like you wake up and that's like it's like the morning. So like most
or
like
noon or 1.
right, or noon or 1 if you're Jay. If it's me or Ario and wake up at like 9:30 and it's late. Like if you wake up at 9:30, it's late. That's what I'm saying. So you sleep. So let's say you get drunk one night and then you sleep. You're having these weird dreams. You wake up at like 9:30 and you're like, oh fuck. Well, that's because you delayed your body getting into REM sleep. So it finally got into REM sleep because it takes like it's a process. It takes time. It can't just happen.
That's exactly what happens with lucid dreaming.
Yeah,
and I'll explain that.
And that's pretty much what it was. So that was the enlightening thing about that study is that THC, although it does help you fall asleep, actually inhibits your ability to get recovery, restful sleep. And one thing that's like a little note that Clarissa actually told me is that they used the weed that they used for that story or that study was not that great, like potency wise.
Yeah.
Because like the weed that we buy now is probably anywhere from 20, like somewhere from 18 to 22, probably like on average, right? Low would be anything below that, 15% or something like that. And I guess, we would never buy it. But if the National Institute of Health is giving you weed for a study, then you're probably going to take it.
You know
here.
You know who would love this conversation? Henry, because he smokes a lot more. Well, he got into it a lot more.
He gets into it deeper.
But he gets into it like as in like the actual herb of it.
Yeah.
No,
damn it.
No.
Even though you said just leave those lights on, I did, and I just never fucked with that. Hold on,
I gotta
give me a
pee. I'm just kidding. They were deciding whether or not to get mad. Everybody. They were like, we might kill him.
That was a frustrated laugh. No question about it.
He has to pee. Kill him before he pees.
Just kill him. He'll never have to pee again.
And we're back.
But yeah, dude, that's what.
That's crazy.
I mean, so I don't know about like if we use better weed, would it make a difference? No.
I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of factors into it. Your tolerance, like you were saying, your tolerance of the type of weed you're smoking.
Yep. What you ate that day.
What you ate. How your body weight.
How
everything.
often you smoke.
Everything.
There's too many variables to like.
Lots of variables. So what do we say?
To make
Smoke
it a
weed
one
still.
rule, like
benefits outweigh the downfalls.
Yeah,
that's right.
Also, there's cookies there. You guys can eat them because if we don't finish them and my kid finds out, he's gonna fuck me up.
Unless they got weed in them, they can remain cookies.
I ain't eating them cookies.
You know what?
I might eat a Crustable.
I was wondering where my
Uncrustable
was.
I tossed it at you.
But I ate
Did you
it.
smoke it already? Yeah, I was gonna
Did you
say.
smoke it already?
Well, I wasn't. That ended up being too
I
dangerous.
had that Uncrustable OG last week.
So what?
So what was that thing that?
No. Stop. What were you guys talking about with lucid dreaming?
Yeah, that's what I was
lucid
saying.
dreaming. Okay.
Yeah.
So lucid dreaming is basically when you trick your body into believing it's falling into REM sleep.
Right.
So you force yourself to sleep. So the way you do it is you basically lay down, you don't cross your limbs.
Yeah.
You keep your eyes shut and you start to begin to think about what it is you want to dream about.
Right.
And when you sleep, I'm sure everyone's had this, everyone's noticed, like you get like a weird itch on your face.
Yeah.
So you just kind of go like that real quick. And then 20, 30 minutes go by and maybe you get like a muscle spasm. Maybe not 20, 30 minutes, depending on how fast you fall asleep. You'll get like a muscle spasm, like in your leg. I'm sure you get like uncomfortable. So you shift your body.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Those are fake tests. Those aren't really happening on your body. Okay.
Your body's trying to make you fall asleep.
First your body's actually sending signals. So if it gives you that itch, your mind tells your consciousness, okay, it's still awake. So it doesn't release the chemicals in your body to start shutting your body down.
Yeah.
But when you avoid that first itch, it might seem unbearable, but if you ignore it, it goes away. And you're like, what the fuck? It just doesn't itch anymore. Then the second one will be like that muscle spasm or your body, like out of nowhere, you're just uncomfortable. You need to move. You ignore that one. Your body's like, okay, cool. That's like the second heavier test. That means your body's asleep. Yeah. Let's start shutting it down. This is the part that gets really scary and you need to not freak out about. But basically, you feel a pressure on your chest.
Oh, the devil.
And you don't. And this is a thing where people think they get. They think they get attacked by ghosts. They think they get abducted. They think the devil's attacking them or whatever. Or their uncle's touching them again. But it's not. Well, maybe the uncle. But what happens is on that third one. You actually, because when you sleep, when you wake up in the morning, you're a liar if you don't go, because your heart rate drops when you sleep. So when you wake up and you take that deep breath, it's because you're raising your heart rate back up again.
Yeah. Very quick side fact. I think the temperature of your body or your brain has to drop your brain has to drop like 2% before your brain. 2 degrees. The temperature of your brain has to drop 2 degrees before you can fall asleep. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. That's why it's easier to fall asleep in a cold room than it is in a room that's too hot.
Wait. Wasn't there a reason why teachers kept
The cold on.
The cold on.
That's why I thought to pay attention. That's what I thought.
Because I think that they think.
Are you sure it's not warm?
I'm 100% positive.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want to.
I think that they think that keeping the room cold would keep you warm. But if it's hot, if they make it hot, first of all, they're gonna get in trouble for having the room too fucking hot.
Yeah,
all of a sudden, they're abusing students. Secondly, if you're just sweating balls in the classroom, you're like not. You're just gonna be like, fuck, like oh my god,
I'm not trying to learn shit.
I ain't learning nothing. So let's if little Johnny and little Billy fall asleep, fuck it, bro. They were gonna dig ditches for the rest of their lives anyway.
That's fucked up.
So learning English literature is not
crazy.
important.
I gotta
for
look
them.
into that. That might actually have an effect on falling asleep or making the thing happen. But basically, you'll feel a pressure on your chest, and that is your heart rate lowering, and you are definitely not to fight that. If you fight that, you start back over with the scratch. So you're probably 10-20 minutes because remember, you're not tired. You're faking that you're tired.
Investing in your dreams doing that.
Yeah. But hold on, it gets better, and then it also gets worse. So once that starts to happen, you want to once you feel like the pressure on your chest, and you have to give in to like the slow breathing because your body's starting to shut down.
Yeah.
You get what's called sleep paralysis. I'm sure people have woken up and
sure.
You're like, oh, I can't move. That actually starts to come onto you in the beginning of your sleep part, the whole deal. Process. So what you want to do is you get your fingers, your pinkies, and you want to slightly move them, not to alert your body that you're awake, but to see if you have control enough to move your pinky. If you feel like you can move it, don't, because you're probably going to shock your body. Give it another couple minutes, maybe a couple seconds, and try it again. And if you can't move it, your body is shut down. That means your eyelids can't open, and that's the scary part. When you feel like you can't breathe and your eyelids are shut, that's why you need to start beginning to think about what you want to dream about. And then you get submersed into your dream, and you just fucking go and you remember your dreams. It's freaking sweet.
That's cool.
But the thing that's scary is I did it so much that sometimes I was in a car ride and I wouldn't move, and I can feel my body going numb because I've tricked my body so much. Like, you know how some people daydream?
It's like steroids or eye drops or
where they just kind of like hello, hey, and they're just like this. They probably don't have a control on their brain that can regulate if they're awake or if they're asleep. So what got scary for me was I couldn't sleep when I was tired, and then I also was sleeping when I didn't want to sleep. I would be in class. I was going to college at the time, and I would be in class, and I was like, holy fuck, I can't move. And like I had to imagine falling out of a chair to like wake up.
Mm-hmm.
It was scary, dude.
I was doing these.
Sorry, really quick. That's another huge reason why I don't have dreams anymore. Remember, you asked me how often do I dream?
You have to probably fix that.
I can't. Yeah, sometimes, and it's random. I can still get my 4 or 5 hours of sleep, and I'll have a dream.
That's also
I know that's a huge
large reason.
But sometimes I do have my 4 or 5 hours regular, and I'll have a dream then. But it's like once a month, bro, when I have dreams.
Because your body is yearning for REM sleep.
Yep, I bet it is.
So I would have this constant dream that I would make myself have is it's fucking weird, but I would run.
Blowjob by Pamela Anderson?
Besides that one.
Yeah, all right.
I would run, and I was able to control, I was able to fly. Like, I was able to control on how I was able to fly. Like, it was like this pressure on my chest. It'll push me up, so I'd have to keep running.
Dude.
Like, it's like a kite.
Yeah.
Like, you know that pull? It's kind of like that.
So you had that before, too. Like, I was running from something, and I would jump. Like,
you would jump.
Like, wahoo!
But my
way, and I was run away, like, fine.
Yeah, so I was able to control that. But after a while, once I started thinking about I'm dreaming,
your superpowers went away.
I'm dreaming, and it would go away, and then I'd wake up.
I would have that shit too. Yeah. So when you start the dream being aware, you can control it. But when you wake up in your dream, that's when your dreams start to fall apart.
Yeah.
And it's a part of lucid dreaming because you're now aware in your sleep state, and that's when everything falls apart. You're like, oh yeah, I'm about to smash on this girl in my dream, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, hold on, why am I not getting it? Oh, I'm still hard. And you wake up and you're like, what?
Yeah, I remember this one specific sex dream. I was going to have sex with some girl, but I was at a liquor store, and then I realized, I was like, why am I at a liquor store? And that's when I woke up.
I have a bed.
'Cause I questioned my surroundings, I questioned everything, and then I was like, my consciousness woke me up.
Oh, I'm not really about to get laid.
Yeah, and then I get mad.
What was I thinking?
You know what dreams were the worst? They got me mad. Is like in my dream when there's an alarm going off, and I'm like, fuck, and you turn it off, and you're like, it's not turning off, and someone's knocking at the door, and then you're like, what the fuck? Like you open the door, there's no one there, and then you have to pee, and then you're like, I already went pee, and then like you wake up, and then like everything's wrong. Like the alarm's still going off, someone's at the door, your bed's wet.
I have dreams where my alarm goes off in my dream and it's going off in real life. And I wake up and I realize it is not necessarily like an alarm in your dream. Sometimes it's some other kind of noise,
like
but it has a cadence to it, like an alarm, you know. And then you realize, oh shit, my alarm was like in my dream in this form of whatever fucking.
You know what's crazy about this? Like we all tell like cool little funny stories. But sometimes you ever get the feeling when you hear someone else's story, you know that they're a pathological liar.
Yeah.
Bro,
And I feel
that after I just talked.
No.
You ain't gotta lie to kick it.
No, it's because
I'm not good at lying. You guys would know right away if I
yeah,
was
because
lying.
I have conversations with
I'm
people
lying,
at
you guys.
work, and they'll tell me stories. I'm like, why are you lying?
Yeah, we just
Like-
work together.
Yeah, you don't have to. We're not fucking 16
This
anymore.
is how.
It's like,
This is one way.
it's
I
like if I-
embellish their stories to
it's
make
like
it
you tell me of a
better.
band. Yeah, I've heard of them. No, I haven't. Like,
Wait. On one episode, we did talk about last episode. Maybe we did talk about how the fact that like some of these things are jokes. And
Yeah,
now we're
no,
standing
yeah,
by it,
yeah.
saying like, no,
no.
be real.
I'm
We're not-
saying
we're not
I'm
talking
saying
about
but they're not.
pathological
Yeah, but
liars.
they're
We're
telling a story
exaggerating.
that doesn't.
I mean, I'm talking about I'm not talking about exaggeration. I'm talking about like legitimately
Straight up
like lying. Like,
Dude, and you know
But-
what? I was just talking to somebody about this. Like, I
'Cause-
felt like I've always that's the reason I took pictures of Snoop Dogg. I always felt like I've always had to prove myself. I never liked lying.
What do you do?
But like, I fuck you, Jay. Like, I think it stemmed from when I was in the 3rd grade,
yeah,
and I remember telling my teacher, "Oh, he had a mini fridge in his
Yeah.
in his room, in his the classroom," and then I was like, "Oh, I have a mini fridge," and then he looked at me, he's like, "No, you don't," and I was like,
Are you trying to hand that off?
like I do,
I
do,
to bring
but,
this in my backpack.
like now I feel like I have to prove it because now you think
Yeah.
I'm a liar. Like I'm your student and you're one of my favorite teachers. Like why would you think I would lie to you? And
Yeah.
it bothered me. So like ever since
Bro.
then, I always feel like I have to have proof. Or like even if nobody asks for it, like oh
You're
dude,
100% right.
guess what I did this weekend? And then they're like, oh that's cool. Like well, let me show you what I
Yeah.
really
Hold
did.
on, this was epic. I need a better reaction than that, right? You know,
yeah,
like-
yeah, exactly.
it just
exactly.
sucks because like
Like,
I
I went
mean
to Six Flags. Okay.
it's a thing when
Look.
it's someone that you work with, like whatever, like I don't care, but it's annoying. But when you know someone and you catch them lying all the time, like fuck,
Yeah.
man. It's embarrassing and it makes you look stupid.
You know, I have a friend that we, you know him too. He's not really much of a friend anymore, but we always
a
knew
fucking
he was.
liar.
He always knew he was, but it's like we kind of like just didn't like acknowledge it. Like we knew he was lying, and we just let him
Okay.
because it wasn't worth like the friendship of like calling him out. Like, what do you gain by calling him
It's
out?
just like, now
You
we
gotta
have
call
to,
him out
now
a
we
couple
all
times,
are
though.
gonna band together against this guy and tell him like, no, bro, like we all know you're lying
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
time. And then now
can
we're
do
gonna
that.
create a complex with this
Yeah.
guy where
Yeah.
like even though he was lying, like now what's he gonna think now? Because whatever he was thinking was telling him to lie. Then you have to feed all our criticism into his like no, and we don't let anybody. None of us. We don't
Yeah.
let anybody. The
Yeah.
rest of us get away with nothing.
Nothing.
No. We,
Except Jay apparently lies to us all the time.
Yeah, well,
It's just
Jada,
stupid.
Like when he texts, he says, "I'm ready." He's not ready.
Not ready.
he's,
I was already ready.
he just finished. He just finished.
I just didn't want to tell you how early I was ready because I was gonna be embarrassed. I've been sitting for 30 minutes with my clothes on, my hair combed. But I'm just gonna say it right now because you're not here
my
yet.
grandma's having a deep conversation with me about World War II and where she was.
Because she was
and I
there.
don't want to be there. I don't want to be here.
But
Um,
Can you pick me up?
So Brian, something about Joe.
oh
but-
yeah, maybe let's probably wait.
Wait
until
on
they-
it?
Like wait
Okay.
on
Okay,
that one.
good.
Okay,
Let
so
me
I
talk
wanna-
about my story then, because it's very
Is
short.
Is that Killdozer?
It's Killdozer.
Okay.
So when we were little kids, I didn't know this. It was in 2004 or something like that.
Speaking about numbers, how much time we have left though? I don't want you to get cut off.
1 minute, 25 seconds. Can you?
Well,
make the
you're
cut?
gonna get cut
Hold
off.
down.
Right? No,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna cut him
get
off.
cut
Like, cut him off.
Okay.
Hold
I
on.
can sing.
We'll be
for a
back.
I'll
minute.
preface it right now, and then I'll give some details.
Ooh,
Let him, he's just gonna hit one button twice.
Are we in here yet? This is gonna be a long ass pause. So,
Hold on.
this gentleman, his name is Martin, I
Wait,
think.
wait,
I know
15 seconds.
I don't want to wait that long.
I don't want to wait
For the timer to be over, I wanna talk about what I want now.
Ooh, that's pretty good, man.
And don't start
dude.
over.
All I do
Be
is
so
sing.
hard and show me how.
Those that have heard me.
I do sing a lot
All right, and we are back.
Cool.
in the car
I'm driving down to Walmart.
You all right, Jay?
because no, he's not.
All right, cool.
Because
Who said Marty? Something about Marty.
his name's Martin.
Martin. Sorry.
I know him.
Fuck was that?
We're not spilling shit this time. We're just kicking everything.
So this guy lived in Colorado. No, actually, lived. He died at the end of the story.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Punchline. Spoil. Yeah.
I said it first, fuckers.
When I start telling you the story, though, you'll be like, "What the fuck? He died?"
Mm.
So he owned a muffler shop in Colorado.
Like Red Foreman.
Exactly right.
Red had a muffler shop?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Season 6.
retired. He was always there. How are you always there? If you work, you're not always there, bro.
That's true.
Why was he always there?
Carry on.
So this guy had a muffler shop in Colorado, and they were going to build a concrete factory. Jay.
Dude, how is that?
Same girl from last
Answer
time.
it.
Act like you're popular, Jay.
Hey, Teddy, we're just doing the old thing again.
Say hi to your friends. Hi.
You're famous. We hit you up right after, all right? She was not amused.
Did she watch the show?
No, I don't know, but she might not now. She looked unhappy.
Yeah,
she has to
She
start.
looks like
She's
that
called
girl,
twice.
She looks like the girl that you told us about in the first story last week.
That's not her. I know that girl's name, and it's not her, but she kind of looks like her. Okay, anyway, so
Sorry,
this
go
guy owns a muffler shop in Colorado. They're going to build a concrete factory right next to his shit, right? A factory. And in doing so, they block the road that accesses his shop, which you can imagine how hard it is to work on mufflers when the car can't make it to your goddamn shop.
Yeah.
Why is it so familiar?
And then, because maybe you remember part of it, and not to mention, at the same time, I started to talk about it at Kegan's. At the same time, and I just got re-upped on the details. The sewage got cut off to his
Holy shit.
building, and the city fined him for that. Right?
Because he's
Shitting in the front yard.
No, yeah, because they had to bring a septic truck or something. I don't know why, but they decided they were going to find him because it's the fucking government. Did they ever do
true.
anything right? No.
Not really. That's the next thing I want to talk
They would
about.
never
Fuck
do
the
that to you if
government.
you were rich.
And so this video is now demonetized. So so this guy has a fucking bulldozer because he made some solid investments in his life.
nice.
And then he makes a concrete armor for his bulldozer, bro. Closes the shit on top of him. Takes out 13 buildings. 13 buildings that were owned by the members of the city council that chose to fine him over the sewage thing, and also made it so that there was no road to access his shop.
Holy.
And then he got stuck. Then he offed himself inside the Killdozer.
Not bad.
Damn.
Wow.
Bro.
Wow.
You want to talk about America? That's America right
America.
there. Not only does he have a bulldozer, America, he covered it in concrete, America twice, and then he fucking took out 13 buildings on his way to taking out himself. America 3 times. You call that the American hat trick, and you take that shit to the bank, and it's worth enough to buy another bulldozer.
And that's like super hypocritical of like the government to do, because when another government,
you're kidding.
When
the government did something hypocritical.
When the government did that,
first they tell
us
the
Earth is
round.
Great Britain did that to the United States of America. Well, at the time, the colonies, they're like, fuck this, we're out. And then they won that shit, and then they had World War I, and then they were back-to-back World War champs. And then like that's us, dude. We won both times.
Ask how many times you won a world war, because my country won 2 times.
Yeah.
And the second time, actually both times, we weren't in at the beginning.
We came in towards the end.
We were in.
In World War I, we
us.
came in and we were only in there for 9 months, and we cleaned it up, and it was going on for 5 years.
Jesus.
In World War II, everybody, England and France, everybody in Europe's like, you guys, please, like, Hitler's so bad, like he's doing all this bad shit. And we're like, bah, like,
We got it.
figure it out.
Like, what's it worth to you?
Figure
It wasn't until Japan was like, oh, we're just gonna fuck them up. You know what? That's really dumb though.
Japan's
why
like,
would you?
these
why
fools
would-
acting like bitches. We're gonna treat them like bitches.
Why'd you? I don't know. That's a whole other story. But
Acting
speaking
like
of
bitches,
government, this is what I wanted to talk about too.
bitches.
For those of you that are politically
Martin.
involved, the G7 summit was this weekend. I don't know if you guys don't know what G7 summit is. It's like kind of like Coachella for the governments. Like,
Dude,
all the governments get together in one place.
we could
And
sell a lot of ecstasy there, probably.
This year it was in Canada, and the reason it was so hot is because Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, was recently beefing with Trump, but not only because of like some spat,
Because of tariffs.
because of tariffs.
I hate tariffs.
$12.2 billion he put against the United States in tariffs.
Canada's-
When Trump only put up
Oh.
like 2, he put like $2 billion in tariffs. He turned around and put 12. I think it was 14.2 or like 10.2 or something with like, I have dyslexia. So
Every
it's
time I ever been in a fight with somebody that was close to me, you swing harder first because you don't want it to continue.
yeah,
Fuck you, Canada.
fucked him up, and Trump still showed up. There's like a really infamous photo. What the fuck? That was,
He didn't even spill.
America.
hey man,
Here, sorry.
That
that looks like shit.
it's shit.
Be gentle
Well,
with her.
Anyways, so the
Who are you
G7
talking
summit
to?
was this weekend. It was all the government leaders that look like, yeah, that's an absolute turd, dude. All the leaders got together to go over some shit.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It sounded like you had throw up in that last bit.
Okay.
This thing is a contingency.
So tariffs.
Tariffs are basically taxes on
Bad.
imported goods. Imported for the country, but exported from the country that they're coming from. So all that shit went down, but then Trump had to dip out early to meet Kim Jong-un for the first time, any sitting president in U.S. history.
I wonder if they had
has
cup of
ever done.
noodles.
What?
I wonder if they had cup of noodles.
Cup of noodles?
Can you believe this world? Kim Kardashian and Trump made history, and Dennis Rodman's over there talking to Kim over there in North.
Well, you know what's funny?
North
You say that. I
Korea.
know what
I
you
love
meant.
Dennis Rodman.
Who did I say?
Kim Kardashian, but he
Dennis
did meet
Rodman.
with Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
But
No,
Kim
that was
Jong-un,
Ray J.
No, Kim met with Trump.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw that
I was
today
talking
in the-
about a different video.
That was good.
We'll
Hey.
post that link at the bottom.
No, we won't.
Yeah, dude. So it was just like a crazy weekend, man.
This thing is a contingency plan. I'm gonna name that blunt contingency.
And then also Anthony Bourdain, man.
Who was
Did I notice that
Who the
everybody got
hell
pissed?
was he, dude?
Everybody got pissed at Trump real quick on the G7 because he didn't he take up? They were talking about women's rights and then he started filibustering them.
He did a lot of stuff. Yeah. So it was on that.
And he was acting all no.
And
he
then
showed
Russia.
up late. They were talking about women's rights or women equality for women, and he showed up late, opened the door. Which, by the way, if you've ever been in a classroom and somebody shows up late, it doesn't matter. The teacher could be talking about she could be talking about Tupac making out with a police dog on your shirt, and everybody's gonna go like this at the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though you know it's just the same kid that shows up every fucking day, late every day, because it was me senior year. Even though I didn't have a first period, I would show up late to second period.
There you go.
Distraction.
And I'm sure you already drove by then.
I was bro.
Don't you live like 10 minutes?
I would show up every day.
Why does it look like that?
I would show up. It's a backwood. It's not a blunt. That's why. Don't stop acting like
Really?
a novice. Yes.
King-
No,
I'm a
I just
novice.
made that up. Read the package.
I smoked once this year.
You should hit this, bro. If you never had a backwood, go
Holy
ahead. Go
shit.
ahead.
Yeah, do it.
They drug test you
Yeah,
at
bro,
your
you'll
job?
be okay.
No,
They
they
drug
don't
test you.
drug-
Yeah, I show up. They say, "What do you want to have today? Ecstasy or
he runs his own
heroin?"
business.
Adderall.
And then they
Coke.
say, and you tell us which is which. It's a test. Every
Right.
morning.
Whatever you pick goes in your butt.
Shit.
Anyways,
the
yeah.
third time.
I'm hitting the soft
Anthony.
one. Yeah, R.I.P. Anthony Bourdain. So I'm not gonna act like I was a super huge fan of him. Although I
was,
know
man.
he definitely had probably one of the best jobs that you.
Yeah,
could have
I mean,
as a
See,
person.
here's the thing.
I don't want to be in the public eye
I'm
or
not.
anything.
I'm not
but-
flexing on anybody that was like a huge Anthony Bourdain fan. I only knew him
Yeah,
because
you
of
are.
my parents.
Yeah, you are.
I would like.
I watched the
before-
shows.
I never watched them. It was like, hey, mom, dad, like, can we watch, like, I don't know, Power Rangers? And they're like, no. And then I would actually, before Parts Unknown was like a channel on CNN, it was like Strange Foods or something like that. I think was his first
Yeah.
show, Strange Foods. My parents would watch that. I didn't give a shit. My dad's a huge cook. You guys know that. My mom,
He made me spring rolls. I'll never
He's
forget.
huge and
Yeah.
he's a cook and he cooks real well.
and Anthony Bourdain was his dude. He fucking cried that morning, man.
Damn.
Yeah, he cried. My sister, she's big on cooking. My mom's big on cooking. They both cried. And when I found out I was
Wow.
driving to work, when I sent you guys that group
You didn't
chat,
cry.
I didn't cry. It's actually kind of weird
I
because
thought that's where it was going.
I did a funeral video yesterday, and my cousin's ex-wife died.
You got to tell that story.
Yeah, should I tell that story? That story was deep, dude.
It's interesting, dude.
Okay, I'll tell that story right now. But so when he died, I was just like, damn, dude, like I wanted to do a cooking show. I mean, we and Brian, we want to do this cooking show, and like we had an inspiration from something else.
Yeah.
But definitely, like Anthony Bourdain has that swagger where like you can see him cooking. It's not boring. Like
Yeah.
he has like a fucking feng shui to him. and
So,
Like Super Chef Bobby Flay?
I think better than him, bro.
Yeah, I know. I
Who-
just like saying Super
how much
Chef
time do
Bobby
we have
Flay.
right now?
10 minutes.
All right. So, I mean, there was a lot of people, saying, well, he did, but he had like, his past demons. He dealt with a lot of crap. And regardless of him saying, like, there was interviews of someone saying that they just hung out with him, saying he's never been happier and all this stuff. And you never know what someone is seriously, honestly going through, even though they say, they're super happy. And just one day, it just clicks. They're gone,
Oh, like
Jay,
like
this thing is really, like, you gotta be careful, bro.
like what's his name?
Look at that.
Limp.
Look at that,
So-
Look at that thing.
I roll terrible back.
So on-
You're right, Brian. I actually think what happens is like, this might sound weird, but Anthony Bourdain wasn't that day wasn't that far away from still being alive.
Yeah.
I think what happens is like there's lots of like shink, and you get close.
You get your
maybe
highs.
you don't find, maybe it's not like, oh, you know, like I helped this old woman, blah blah blah, this or that, or I helped my brother, or I helped my friend, or whatever, or did whatever. Like it's not like you find a reason to be alive on those days where you feel like, fuck, it would just be better if I was be dead. It's just that maybe you don't find a good enough reason, or you don't feel strongly enough that day, like, fuck, it would be better if I was dead.
Yeah.
But one day, that day, whether it was a specific trigger or it was just a culmination of all the things that had led to that point.
Exactly.
And it finally that day, he was like, you know what, dude, I don't want to do any more days of this.
Yeah.
I don't want to, and I really, really can't.
And you know what's sad? Because it's like these people out here that are friends of ours that go like and travel and eat and post all this shit. Like, I'm not saying they're not happy, but like I'm sure they would want to do that as a job for the rest of their life because they think that would make them happy. This was this dude's career, his job. He went to countries, ate frog dicks in the back of a shack in Shanghai, and like he still wasn't happy. Like that blows my mind. Like if you're not happy with yourself,
because that sounds like it sucks. eating what? Where?
Well, I'm just saying, like that's how crazy this dude was.
Jay.
But
I did not eat frog dicks there.
If they put a camera in your face, you would have done it.
But what I'm saying is like that's not where people find happiness. Like I think people should look for happiness in things that make them happy and not what they think that's gonna make them happy.
Exactly.
Like let's go to Cabo this
How do you
weekend.
know?
Or, I think I'm not saying I know another person. I think another person knows what they want.
Do you?
And they're afraid to like not jump and do it because maybe they're afraid of being judged.
Yeah, there. I mean, when it comes to wanting to do exactly what you want to do, it is fucking terrifying.
Like this.
Like no, I mean no.
Like this.
When I was a lot more younger, music was my thing, and I did it, and I knew if I kept on doing it, it's not a safe thing that is gonna guarantee me support later in my life and all this, but. And I used to be like super fearless of anything I would do. I would not care until later on in life, I started getting older and older and older. I'm more scared to do the things that I want to do. But slowly you start. Success. Yeah. I mean, not afraid of success.
And failure.
You just start to think a lot more critical on your own actions and what's going to be put onto you later in the future. And I've heard a couple of interviews about Anthony, and they were saying like, people close to him were saying like they would go out for a run or a walk, and that would help that sadness go away because it releases something in your brain or something. I forgot what it was called specifically.
Hormones. Dude, running makes you feel like a fucking superhero.
Yeah. So when it comes to running, there was a story I wanted to talk, but maybe let me just pause this because it might be a little long.
I mean, you get 6 minutes. Yeah.
6.
Well, I used to know someone that I was extremely close to for many, many years. I lived with this person. Probably one of the most fucking heartwarming, most kind person I've ever met in my life. And
we didn't live together that long, Brian.
Later on, this person started to change, very, very different than how I used to know this person. And she was going through so much stuff that later on she would take walks or runs. And I didn't understand why, but when I heard this interview about, you know, it takes away the sadness or whatever it is that you're going through, it'll help it, and it made me realize that's why she was doing that, like going for runs or walks. It'll help with whatever she was going through, and it's crazy because I didn't understand until I thought about myself, and then whenever I'm mad or upset, I'd go skate.
Yeah,
and it would take everything that I was feeling that day, whatever it would take it away. And that's the same thing as when you go for a run or a walk. And I couldn't figure it out why I felt that way or why it would happen until I put myself in that situation.
I feel you.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you this because for me that it was hockey.
Yeah.
And it is still today.
Yeah, same.
And so when you are skating, like obviously you've been skating for a long time. It's not like you need to like super duper focus on everything that you're doing, but when you're skating, do you think about anything else?
So when I finally get on my board, I just think about pushing, and there's my specific one trick that I like to do.
Right.
I just focus on that. I just focus on
doing like what's next? Like what's the next thing I'm gonna do?
What's the next thing? How much more pop can I do? And then I get into that motion. Word.
And you're not. There's nothing else.
There's
going through your
nothing
mind.
else in my mind. There's nothing else. I feel fine. I feel great.
Yeah. I'm glad that you're saying this
Yeah.
because it makes me feel better because I've known that
Yeah.
about hockey probably for like 5 or 6 years.
Mhm.
Like actually maybe a little longer, where you realize I'm not thinking about anything else in life.
Yeah, anything.
I'm not thinking about being hungry. I'm not thinking about money. I'm not thinking about
Big booties.
booties.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not
I
thinking
think
about
the closest thing is like, you know, you're exhausted, but keep pushing. You got
The only thing I'm thinking about is making my legs move and
exactly.
continue to do what I'm doing.
That's the,
Just be faster than this person, be stronger than this person, go longer than them.
Exactly.
That's it, and just try and just like because there's only one goal.
Yeah.
And it's to first. I mean, in hockey, you serve your teammates, and you serve like you want to win the game.
Exactly.
And that's how you do it. And like in skating, you do it by doing it with yourself.
I think you do make a great point. Like, it's not that I didn't know that it made me feel that way. It's just I didn't know why.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't understand at that.
Yeah,
point.
I probably didn't either. It's that I guess I recognized that it was important.
Yeah, it
and
is.
to treat it that way.
Yes.
To not think about it in any other kind of way than
exactly.
It's hard. I don't know why. Maybe it's because where I am in life and like we're young, we're trying to like move forward and get more stuff and like, or not more stuff, but like grow ourselves as people. It's hard to be grateful.
Yeah.
So when I'm out there, I always am grateful because there's not a lot of things in life that you can just not think about anything.
Exactly.
else.
Yeah, damn. I mean, shit. You guys went deep, and if we're gonna go deep, I have a situation that happened to me today.
Dude.
That Jay overheard and some shit. But we can take a quick break, and then when we come back, I'll get into that.
Yeah, we're gonna no more backwoods after this. Let's smoke out of a piece or something.
All right, so today I got a phone call, but I like to paint the story from behind it so you can kind of feel the weight of the call.
I'm gonna leave that joke alone.
I got a cousin that has had some marital issues, and it's been really tough because I saw it all happen, and
I know what that's like.
It was rough, dude, because after having kids, I mean, he had kids in this situation, and after seeing it go down, like, it like really broke my heart, and then like I still see him like to this day, so like you know, and then he sees my kids, and I'm sure he feels some sort of way, and it's just like it's really hard to even imagine what it'd be like to not be with your kids. So his wife at the time was when they kind of separated, was kind of being very difficult, wasn't letting him see the kids. It had been years since he had seen his newborn and all kinds of stuff. Years. You remember, you were there through all that too.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're talking about.
So and I'm sure because at times too, I willed ill on her. Ill will. How does that phrase go?
Ill will.
I had ill will.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he did too, and I'm sure other people did too, because like when someone hurts someone that you love, you're just kind of like, fuck, man, like I want to hurt you
carnal
too.
to feel that way,
It's carnal, right? It's our primal instincts to be that way. So today I get a phone call from a cousin that they're kind of distant. They don't really talk. They knew each other at a time. And they don't really talk. But he called me and he said, hey man, like you still talk to so and so? And I'm like, yeah. Like what's up? And he goes, well, his wife died. I was like, what?
Shit.
And he goes, yeah, dude, she was in a car accident and got hit by a drunk driver, and one of his kids was in the back seat. And I was like, fuck. And he was like, yeah, man, like the kid's in critical condition, but she like died at the scene. And so I was like, fuck. He goes, so call him. So I learned this news. Yeah. And my cousin had no idea, but yet I knew it. So it's like it was none of this was my business.
Yeah.
But it was your problem.
But it was my problem.
Like you're responsible for this information.
Okay, so exactly. So if I don't go and tell him, it's like, dude, what the fuck? You knew and you never told me?
Yeah, of course you had to tell him.
I had to tell him. So
But
it's like,
that's
so
like,
someone was like,
that's heavy.
yeah. So when I was like, oh man, I had some shit go down today, and then I told what happened, and like, that's not your shit. I'm like, that's 100% my shit, because now I have to deliver news that probably didn't have the same impact.
If you knew, then it's a different story. But he didn't know, and now you know.
Yeah, but the impact is different. He's telling me as a person that knows the person. Now I have to tell the person that this directly impacts.
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, you would have found out, but like
how do I say it? How do I build it up? What do I do? Hey, are you sitting down? Like, I really had to say that because there's no way to preface this. Like, there's no way to like build into this.
Right.
So I called him
and it's over the phone.
And I was like, hey man, and it's over the phone. And I was like, hey man, like, are you still like technically married? And he was like, no, like we're like divorced. I was like, okay, because she died, bro. And he didn't have the response I thought he was going to have. Oh. Yeah, dude. And my heart was like, I don't know if I was just so desensitized because Anthony Bourdain passed away. I did a memorial yesterday for somebody, and I'm like, I didn't feel what I thought I should feel. I think somebody was dead, and I'm editing somebody's photo to make some money off of someone's death, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I thought I was just kind of desensitized, and then I go and I give this, dude, it's like 3 days of death in a row, and then I go and I give him this news, and he's just like, oh, and then I was like, and your kid's in critical condition, and I think something snapped for him. And he's like, oh, do you know who it is? Like, and then he was sunk into it. Then it kind of scared me because, like, he obviously had ill will towards her, but then so did I. So if he got that news and it's like, well, like, she directly affected him to the point where, like, okay, that ill will was, like, well deserved for her through him. Yeah. But, like, I had that against her, and she really died, bro. And, like, it made me feel like, fuck, like, what if somebody like close to me hurt me and I'm like, oh, I wish you were fucking dead, and then they die? Like, I don't know if he was in shock, maybe, but
what was the last thing he said to her?
I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know all that stuff, but there was times where she was contacting my mom.
There's no like way to get the full like person's reaction at that moment because you can't. Like, it's too much to process at one time for somebody.
Oh, for sure,
you know
for
what I mean?
sure.
So,
and I knew this girl because she was not attacking, but she would go to my mom and say, hey, where's he at? I need to find him. He's not paying this. He's not paying that. She would go to family members and do that, bro. But when I knew my cousin's story, he'd been trying to give her money. He'd been trying to give her diapers. She played these games with him, dangling his kids in his face. Like, bro, I saw the pain he went through. He saw the pain that he went through.
That's going to desensitize a person.
It would. If you tell
Especially
me the person...
somebody else. Yeah, because if somebody treated you like that, I mean, I'm not going to say that you would wish that they were dead, but if it's going to make you feel this, you're going to be calloused.
Yeah. No, and I'm sure when it happened, I don't know, but, like, his reaction kind of scared me. I was like, fuck, dude, like, if I don't become more sympathetic towards people... What if, like, my own dad dies?
That's tough, dude.
You know, like, I'm seeing so much death before my dad or my mom has even passed. Yeah. And if they pass, well, how are we gonna feel?
Yeah.
You're saying, like, you feel like it's like it's just missing you, sort of.
Yeah. Not that it's missing me, but it's so much around me.
That's what I mean. Like,
okay, for example, we go paintballing. We go paintballing. Like, we've gone paintballing since we were 10. So when we go, it's like we're ready for that rush. But when people don't paintball, they're like, "Oh fuck, dude, I'm gonna wear 3 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of jeans, 6 long sleeves, and a short sleeve shirt." And you don't need all that, but like it takes those first couple hits for it not to hurt as much, and then after that, you kind of long for it. Not that I'm longing for people dying around me, but like, enough people have died around me where I'm just kind of like.
It's almost like a probability thing. It's almost like, damn, dude, like, cause you know what I mean, like
that's
people.
What I'm saying, lightning striking around.
But I mean, when it actually happens, am I gonna have the feelings that I should have when somebody dies?
How do you about it? I
don't want to worry about it, but today was the day that it fell in my lap.
Because you think about that, like, and when people pass and you have those certain feelings, and you like.
You have your own way of dealing with it.
Yeah, and that's really what it comes down to, because that's not something. Nobody's an expert on death, really. Like like maybe the people that work at the mortuary.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
There's not a rule. There's not a standard for that shit.
Something like how you were saying when, like, I mean, my mom's mom passed away. Like, yeah, she took care of me and all this stuff, huh?
Your grandma?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
From my mom's mom, but the way she took care of me and my sister was cool and all that. But there were certain things I didn't really like. It stuck to me. So when she passed, like, I didn't cry. I was sad, because my mom was sad. But I think it might be the same way. If you have certain feelings, certain memories of them, and it's not gonna hit you as much as if, like, my grandma, my grandpa from my dad's side, that now would suck for me. But when my mom's mom died, it was just like, I'm sad. Yeah, I hate to see my mom cry and all this stuff, but I didn't really feel it. Yeah. But another thing is when I was a lot younger, maybe like in high school and middle school, like I kept grudges. I was so mad at everyone and all this stuff. But now I don't keep no grudges. I don't hate anyone. I don't like like. I mean, I might dislike someone or not, but it's not to the extent of how I used to think about someone when I was a lot younger. It's just you realize and you start seeing things and things happen that you start becoming, more
like
sympathetic, softer person.
Have empathy.
Yeah, and it might help you even express yourself a little more than what you used to, or
just be honest.
Yeah, just be honest. Talk about him a lot more. Yeah, I never used to like to talk to people. I'd get upset when people would ask me questions like, hey, how you doing? I was like, why are you asking? Like, it's like, I don't want to talk
Doing
about
fine.
it.
Fucking
Yeah,
alone.
fuck. But now it's like, oh, it's a shitty day, man. You know, shit happens.
Yeah.
I still lie about that usually because
Yeah.
I don't like to say because I don't want to put that on somebody.
Oh,
you know?
of course.
I do it every day. Like when someone says, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I can complain, but who'd listen?"
Yeah, but
And then people are like,
you know,
I don't want to do that to
Or
nobody.
they say,
I
good,
do
good
it.
morning. I'm like, what's good about it?
I think it's the
'Cause
way.
it's like,
how you-
what are they gonna do? Like, if are they just being fake to be fake or be cordial?
Yeah.
But like, if you're gonna really ask, I'm gonna make you. So
Well,
like,
and you
another
gotta-
thing
yeah.
that gets on my nerves, like when people give like fake, like courtesy, fake courtesy.
Yeah.
So
let's just
this-
get it over with too. Sometimes, you know.
yeah. Well, here's the thing about fake courtesy. Like, I take it even though I know it's fake because it's gonna cost you twice.
Yeah.
So you, not in general, but like let's say you tell me like, hey man, I know you've been buying food for me lately or whatever. I don't really have any cash, but I'm gonna buy you something. So like you set it up out there that you have like this. You want to show me that you have some sort of character, right? And you're trying to put it on me like, no, dude, don't worry, man. I see your game. I see through it, and I'm gonna fucking tax you for it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, yeah, no, it's cool. Go ahead, man. I want a double cheeseburger with extra cheese. You know what I mean? And like really put it on you, right? And I'm gonna put it on you because it's gonna cost you twice. It's gonna cost you your pride that you think that you had, and it's gonna cost you your actual cash in your pocket.
Yeah, no,
So,
I understand where that's.
You know,
yeah.
and I do it all the time. So like when people come and like they get their car fixed through me or whatever, and you could tell like, or even if I don't like fix their car or I help them out with something, and they're like, oh, well, you know what, dude? Here, let me help me get something for you. How much do you want? I'm like, whatever you got is cool, or you know whatever you think is fair. Because if they're gonna like, I told you I was gonna do it for a favor, and I don't mind doing favors for people. But like when they start to do that thing, like, oh, you did me a favor, I'm gonna do you a solid. Like I'm gonna pretend like I care about your time. It's like, no, dude, go ahead, I'll wait. How much you got? $30? That's cool. I'll take that.
Show.
Because I'm gonna charge you twice on it, dude. And I told Gaw, the guy at the warehouse, about how I did that. He goes, dude, like people try to come out here and flex like that on me all the time. I was like, take advantage of it. And he told me that he started like telling people, instead of telling people, oh no, it's fine, don't worry about it, he goes, okay. Yeah. And he would do that, and he goes, dude, like a lot of people have like left me money because they think like I'm gonna say, oh, don't worry about it.
No,
like, no, if you're gonna be real and sincere about it, be real and be sincere. Of course. So those people that say good morning to you or like, hey, how's everything going? Are you really asking me that question to really ask me that question? Yeah. Are you being sincere, or are you just trying to bullshit because you think that you're a nice person?
Yeah, no, I definitely
sometimes
understand.
a lot of the time is that.
And it is, and I'm gonna tax them twice. I'm gonna give them the burden of letting them know that I had some death shit happen this weekend. I got a bunch of shit going on, and I'm gonna make sure their day is ruined because they think that they're being a nice person.
Yeah.
But also with what Cody you were saying earlier, it's also maybe the way like you might want to approach it, or maybe even say like, let's say, yeah, I might have a bad day. Like, yeah, it's shitty, but oh well, at least I'm gonna get a burger after. Just
lighten it up, like dark comedy.
Yeah, dark comedy, like.
Yeah.
I don't want to make you feel. One, I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. I don't know you that well, so I'm not gonna tell you the whole story. But I am gonna be a little honest. I'm not gonna like, put up a little thing. So
like, I mean, yesterday, I felt really good yesterday. So yesterday was like a really good day for me, and like 3 people told me, "Hey, you don't look tired," and I'm like, "That's nice," because sometimes people will say, "Hey, you look tired." That means, "Hey, man, are you okay? Do I have to call the police because you look like shit?" But when people told me that, I was like, thank you. Yeah. And like when they gave me that response, I felt like they wanted to know, hey, it truly felt like, how's everything going? Because you don't look tired.
Yeah.
Nobody ever says that to me.
Well, see, and that's part of the issue. If they say like, hey man, is everything okay? No, actually it's not. And let me tell you why. Because if they want to know, then I'm going to tell them. And if they don't, I'm going to teach them a lesson. And maybe next time they won't ask me.
I might just not be working hard enough.
See, that's probably like 2 different perspectives on maybe how me and you might see that.
No, for sure, because I'm on the extreme.
Yeah,
because I deal with a lot of people, and I'm tired of fake.
No, I understand that part for sure. I understand that part. But what if like they are truly being honest? But is it maybe a little too aggressive when you need to tell them like the whole picture?
Not the whole picture, but I'll be honest. If they're gonna be on, I mean, I'm doing it to be funny.
No, of course.
I don't come off as super aggressive like that.
Yeah, no.
But like, if they're gonna say, "Hey man, is everything okay?" I'm gonna do the same thing. Actually, no, I got like a lot of issues going on, and then if they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope everything gets better for you."
Yeah.
No, you don't. And then they walk away, right? But if they're like, oh, like, hey, like what's going on? That person cares. And as far as Cody knows, he knows that I'm a real person when it comes to that. Yeah. And I'm not just preaching this and just talking shit. No. He can show you messages. What?
But if it's like customer or like
even if it's customer,
or
bro,
people you work with,
because I'm real 100% of the time.
Yeah, but these are people that are like it's a business thing. Like sometimes they don't got time for that. Like you're my bumper guy.
No,
Okay, I gotta
see,
go.
but like if they're a business thing and they're coming to me to give me business, and I feel like that's special to me. Like
it
you
is
chose
because
me.
you run your business.
Yeah,
but
so if they're
like,
gonna talk to me, then
like,
I'm gonna. I have time for you. If you had time for me to come to me, I have time for you.
Do they all come back and get coffee with you after they get?
No, but if they did, I would go out.
That'd be very warm. That'd be very nice.
It'd be very warm. Yeah, you're right.
Expect it.
I'm not expecting it, but like Cody knows, I'm not just a bullshitter. Like I'm 100%. Like if you're gonna come to me with an issue, I'm gonna be here. Hey, and you know that I've been there for you too when some shit goes down.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Over and over again.
Like, and this guy knows that if I ask how you are, I fucking want you to tell me.
He cares.
Yeah, well,
that's honestly, I'm gonna tell you. No, this is the next part of it. Because when you're young and you're naive and you're Cody and you're just fucking honest all the time and you just want to and you really want to ask everybody how they are because you think you want to help everybody and then you slowly realize maybe I shouldn't ask everybody.
That's a lot of work.
Like, hold on. I need to really be careful about who I ask. How are you? Because I'm going to listen.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's what I want to sign up for.
And that's real. And that's what I'm talking about. If you really don't care, not that you don't care, but you really don't care to get into it, then don't ask.
Don't say how are you. Say hey, hey, bro. Good to see you.
No, I know. I completely I get it.
Still tell
but
you.
I mean, this is my opinion.
No, of course.
I'm not trying to say everybody needs to be.
I know.
I make myself keep my mouth shut.
Be careful when you ask.
No, of course.
My day is.
Of course. Like I like. How do I put this?
Talking over each other. Check.
Check. Got that.
Guys.
No.
Like, hey, how long until we compete? I mean, how long until the next break?
Alrighty.
5 minutes.
All
right, we can call it after this 5 minutes.
So like you know,
go pee-pee.
let's say a coworker of mine. I honestly do want to know how their day is, but maybe individually different people can't handle as much as like that weight might be. But is it fair enough to say maybe not give out? You know, how do I even know how to fucking put this? Like there you go, something like that. Maybe not give out a glimpse, but not the whole fucking.
Yeah, I mean,
shebang.
start with a little tester. Like
Yeah.
if someone, if
Like,
you come
okay.
up to me and I'm like, damn, dude, today I don't know, I have some death shit happen.
Yeah,
whatever.
and then
you're like,
okay, my response what might be, damn man, I really hope things turn out, better.
that's cool. That means you don't want to get into it.
Yeah,
What
but
do you
I have
to say to somebody?
but I
that
have a
says that
respect
to you
of
all
what
of a
Yeah,
sudden?
and that's another thing. Is like maybe I don't want to, push you into talking about that because of my response.
Yeah, that
You know?
too. I'm being respectful. You know,
Say, oh man, tell me about it. I don't want to say, oh man, tell me about it right away, and then you go, you know
Exactly.
what, honestly, I'd rather not talk about it.
Yeah,
It's like,
and see what I do.
fuck, now I just wanted you to tell me about some death shit that happened,
Yeah.
and now you didn't want to talk about it. Now who's really the asshole?
Yeah, see,
and I was trying to be a good person when I
here's
started.
the thing about that too is like everybody knows, like anybody can contest to this. Is I'll tell them, hey, I'm here whenever you need to talk.
yeah, of course.
And everybody here knows that.
Yeah.
I'm here whenever you need to talk. Like if
Yeah,
it
but
seems like you don't
you
want to
also-
talk about it,
yeah.
but you want me to make you.
But
want
you
me
gotta
to be aware.
you gotta realize that people aren't
Regular
always
people
like that.
don't think.
Oh
that.
yeah, no, for
like
sure.
me,
You
like
gotta kinda give
yeah,
them-
That's why I just don't like when people are fake because I can see right
yeah,
through it.
like a big example. Me and Ari, like that's a big difference. Like I care
Brian's not
about
gonna
you,
push
but
you
if-
into
but
but I
talking
would
about it.
never
Associate-
push you. I would
Yeah.
never. I would. If you want to like maybe text me later, hey man, I want to talk to you. Oh, of course I'm gonna listen, but I would never push like, hey man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
I work in the service industry, and I'm saying like the fake is like these are you have so many associates, and for sometimes it's tables or
You know what?
or people I deal with. Like fake is necessary sometimes.
You gotta
Like,
fake
like,
it till you make it, man.
It's,
No,
it's
actually-
it's a hurry up. Let's get this thing over with.
I do
politely
in a way.
structure.
I have to agree with this guy.
Of a peanut, right?
Fucking tickles.
I agree with him because like when I worked at the shop, it was just my job.
Sometimes you just gotta get through that shit. It's like,
I'm just trying to make
hey,
money.
how are you?
Yeah. See, I did the
Especially
sales
with
thing.
strangers. Like
See,
I'm
when
just-
I worked,
need-
I did
need-
the sales thing
yeah.
too, but I wouldn't fake it. Like, hey, how's everything going today, man?
No,
Well,
but
you're using your
when
real
you do
personality,
that, when
but
you do that though, and then somebody hits you
It's
with some
fake
Ario
because
shit,
you
they're
have
like,
no.
hey, how are you? Hey, how's it going today?
The
Thanks for coming
character,
in.
man.
And then
you
Ario's
know
like,
that.
you know what? Actually, it's a bad day. Usually, I don't treat myself, but my grandma died yesterday, and I really wanted to
fuck.
come
I
out.
mean,
Do you
I
want to
mean,
buy
I'd be
this
like,
hat?
I usually
and
don't
then,
treat
and then
myself.
Jay's fakeness is like, did you?
No. Jay would
Do
be
you-
like,
do you wanna
what are you
talk
gonna wear to
about
the
it?
funeral?
I
Because
don't-
I have a great shirt to go with those shoes.
Do you
Guess
wanna-
what? I have new black jeans. Come right over
Do
here.
you
like,
want to talk
this is my
about
man
it?
right
Or,
here.
like,
I'm
should
a
I? Do you want
fashionista.
to? Do you want some wine? Like, I don't know how to help you right now.
Yeah, dude.
Hey,
You put
first
on
of
a
all,
face.
I
you'd be a
can't really sit
fashionista, and your name
down.
would be Javier.
Oh yeah. De la Torre.
Editorial.
I like it. I like the editorial.
No, it's La Cruz.
What we're doing?
No. It's
Changing my
it's-
Instagram.
It's Trujillo de Guadalupe.
Oh, you have it written down.
Yeah, I have a fucking long ass
De
Mexican
It's
name
my
for you.
Mexican name.
You don't remember?
If
His-
it would
Yeah, I
be.
remember.
When I asked everybody if you had to choose a Mexican name, what would it be? And Jay's
Jay's is like 12
Jay's
names long, of course,
is-
like any good Mexican name should be.
is Jonathan.
You know.
Jonathan Carlos Herrera dash Trujillo de Guadalupe.
Fucking cracker. Can we get it with an accent?
Give
Give it
I
here.
didn't
Give
get
it here.
one
Give it
accent.
here. Give it here.
Damn
Give it here.
it.
Give it here.
Go ahead and let you edit that.
Jonathan. You spelled Jonathan wrong. You spelled it all.
Spelled it with a Y?
I spelled
Yeah.
it in Spanish.
Isn't that an extra H?
Jonathan?
Yeah, Jonathan. Give me that shit.
Jonathan.
Um,
Jonathan.
Damn it! I took
Jonathan.
a screenshot.
Ah.
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Are you gonna restart it?
Restart
It turned off.
I have to
How long
start
ago?
it, bro. I was serious about that.
Be the restarter. We should keep rolling.
Me and Jay are gonna pee.
Did it just beep?
Edit. Don't post it all. Just cut out the bad shit.
way.
Oh man, well, I hope you guys at least stood around to hear this audio. Well, the story from the herpy
Damn it.
vest.
I'll see what it looks like in post, and if it didn't come out, I'll just tell the story again.
Just put pictures. Put some anime.
Put a bunch of pictures of herpes.
No, don't do that.
Oh no! Like pictures that'll tell the story.
Gummy bears running around in a theme park.
No, you're
gummy
gonna have
bear-
to make it, bro. You're gonna have to make
herpes
it,
infected gummy bears is what you need to put a picture of.
Just like whatever the subject matters.
That makes me
in
think of
the
like a
sentences
microwave
you're
gummy bear.
speaking
No, you
pop
just
up,
put- you just put,
up
like-
Google images.
Yeah, Google image of a guy, a girl that looks like a slut,
Things
and
that go with the story, and just keep like cycling.
We'll
through
figure it out.
if you have to do that.
But thank you guys for joining us this deep into our
Look how I made my beer
wonderful
stop.
podcast.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey.
Join us again next week. I think this is episode 27.
oh, something.
Drawing to an
Not
end on
bad.
season 2.
27. How weird. We were talking about a bunch of death. 27's when a bunch of crazy people killed
I'll be
themselves.
27 in July.
I'll be
I'll be
27
27 in
next
December.
year.
I'll be 27 in November.
27 club.
Okay, so I guess I'm the baby.
Kurt Cobain
here.
was 27 when he killed
Kurt
himself.
Cobain.
Amy Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse.
Amen.
There was more.
Bob Marley was 36. That doesn't count.
He didn't. He also died of cancer.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah.
was 36, probably.
What?
He's
32.
33.
32.
Oh, 33.
Close call
33.
on the 30.
He was brown, not white.
Anyways,
He
there
was-
was more people in the 20s. Oh, Jimi
he
Hendrix.
was
Was he in
Antarctican.
27?
Yeah,
Yep.
27. Jimi Hendrix, 27 Club.
bro. It's a 27 club.
There's a bunch of them, dude.
Pacific Club.
Is Morrissey still alive?
Yeah.
Nah, yeah.
I hope so because I'd love to see that motherfucker at a concert.
I'm annoyed with
on.
him.
One of those bands like that. Some one of those weird off the wall
New
bands. Something. That you said you weren't gonna have one of them. I guess we all gonna have one of
That's
them.
because, bro.
We're gonna go
like,
ahead and
I got a
end on
triple-
this
I got
last
a
bit.
triple decker in your fridge, but we're
Jay,
not
can
there
you
yet.
Can you give a commercial in your voice for Uncrustables?
Hold on.
This
As we close-
YouTube has been brought to you by Uncrustables, your favorite lunchtime snack since you were 6 years old.
They weren't out when I was 6.
For all of you that had mothers that would never cut the crust, these were here to bust their butts.
Bustin' Butts brought to you
He
by
made it
Webcasting Couch.
monetizationable. Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.